Today on the podcast, I'm excited to have Erica from Texas joining us today. Hi, Erica.
Hi, Deborah.
It's so good to have you.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really happy to be here.
Okay, so tell me how you and I got connected in the first place.
Oh, I've been receiving your emails like all the time. Every time I get an email from you about a book or a podcast recording or just a topic, I always read it. It's so engaging. I love that you talk about matters of the heart and love. And I remember the dating series because as a single woman that really resonated with me. And so I've been a fan of yours and a follower of yours for years. So thank you so much for all that you do.
Oh, that's amazing to hear. It's amazing because I love getting to do this in the sense that most of the time you're speaking into a microphone or you're writing on a computer screen, writing your books and not necessarily engaging with people. It's like, Lord, I trust that somebody's listening, hopefully. But it's always so fun to get to meet real people who are being impacted in real ways. So I thank you so much. And I'm so grateful that we get to talk face to face today.
Yes, me too.
Okay, so what is it that you want to talk to me about today?
I'd love to get advice and wisdom from you on how to mitigate my attraction to emotionally unavailable men.
Ooh,
Um, I notice and I recognize that I have a pattern with this. It's not like I seek it out intentionally, but it just always seems to come up in my life. And if there are vitamins I need to take or pheromones I need to tell my body to produce, let me know. I will go to God in
I
prayer.
wish it were that
Um,
easy.
I,
Just
you know,
pop
I
a
just
pill.
Yes, please. Whatever I can do to overcome this, because I really do want to be in a healthy and whole relationship that is mutual and where we both can grow. And my present situations that has not presented itself as a viable option. And so I'm just ready and willing to do my part to fix that.
Okay. All right. So let's start with this. Tell me a little bit about give me like a summary of some of the relationships that you've had and how you knew that they were emotionally unavailable men. What did that look like? What were the patterns? Give me like, okay, guy number one, this happened. Guy number two, just give me a little bit of an outline.
Okay. Guy number one. Um, let's start when I was in college. We both expressed an interest in each other, but he was coming out of a previous relationship, wanted time to heal. However, our attraction we still maintained connection, and eventually things grew to be into a committed relationship. But it stalled out as life got tough. Finals happened, family situations occurred, and there was infidelity in the relationship, and then we ended. Guy number two, let's say that was in grad school, and he was older, outside of school, and so it was more of an adult relationship for me. Um, and so it was also long distance. Um, and I tried a lot to meet those expectations of being present, making time. But there was infidelity in that relationship as well, and it ended after 3 years. So that was the longest committed relationship that I've been in to date is 3 years.
Wow.
Ever since those two committed relationships, I have to admit, I wouldn't call the other interactions or relationships that I've had with guys true relationships. Definitely dating, definitely could be, but what I have always been told is that the timing was off. It's not that the interest wasn't there, the timing was off. And right, wrong, or indifferent, when I'm attracted to somebody or someone's attracted to me, it's hard for me, I find it, to just walk away from that without it being a reason. And so I'm willing to try. I'm willing to tough it out. I'm willing to, not give up so easy. Um, just as of yet, it hasn't played in my favor. And so I think that is what I really want to address is, those warning signs or whatever it is, the initial intrigue. Um, if that's just where I leave things, or what's the stopping point to, okay, we've been trying this long enough, we're not committed, things aren't moving forward. I've got to live my life and you live yours. And, we can be friends, whatever that looks like, it's got to change. That those kind of boundaries, I think, is what I know are missing.
I'll tell you, as far as timing goes, what the answer is not. It's not 3 years, that's for sure. It should not take 3 years because then it's like, "Oh, 3 years, and now I find out this is an emotionally unavailable relationship." It doesn't take 3 years. It is revealed a lot earlier than that. It's just a matter of, am I willing to see what's actually there? And sometimes it takes enough hurt for us to finally see what's really there and stop making excuses. I already hear from guy number 1 and guy number 2 that you are the type of person who invests more in the relationship than you expect to get from the relationship. You're giving a lot more than you're getting. I don't hear 50-50 in any of these relationships. And that's where we have to start. Healthy relationships are made of give and take. And I often use the analogy of a plant. If you have a plant and you don't water it, that plant will die. But if you have a plant and you over water it, that plant will also die. And that's the pattern I'm seeing in you is you're over watering these relationships, giving too much, almost maybe even enabling them not to give as much because yeah, you can give 20% and I'm just going to give 80 and we're just going to keep this thing alive. But you can't sustain a relationship that has more give and not enough take because eventually the plant will die. There has to be that balance. And I really believe that's a balance that you can spot within the first 3 months. Now, can you spot it on the first date? I wish you could. I don't think that's always the case. But I do think if your eyes are open to looking for the pattern of give and take in the emotional investment in the relationship, in the financial investment in the relationship, in the time commitment, and the prioritizing, you'll be able to see within the first 3 months how balanced are we, who's initiating more, who's giving more, who's flexing more, who's prioritizing more, or are we kind of in sync? I give a little, you give a little, I give a little, you give a little. And to me, that's the pattern of growth, give and take, give and take, give and take. If I'm not seeing that consistently in the first 3 months, I have an option to make. Option number 1 is I say something and I ask for more. I'm vulnerable. I say, hey, I need more. I'm going to give you a warning. This is what I'm looking for and see if things change. Option number 2 is to decide I'm bouncing. This isn't what I want. I'm not able to sustain a relationship that's give, 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 with just a little take. Option number 3 is I ignore it and I make excuses. He's busy. He's got a lot going on. He just got out of a relationship. He just needs some time. And then I just keep going blindly. So those are kind of your 3 options when you're left with a relationship that's not quite balanced. You either leave, you ask for what you need and you give them another chance, or you make excuses and stay. What has been your MO when this has kind of come up in previous relationships?
Definitely making excuses and staying. Um, I want to get to a point where I speak up and ask effectively and productively.
Yeah.
Or, if that just isn't a viable option, then leaving and not feeling any guilt or shame or remorse about that. But right now, my pattern has been to make excuses and stay.
Yeah. And I would also say if I don't feel like I can ask, part of that could be my own baggage. I'm not good at asking. I've never learned to ask. And that's something to work through. But if I feel like I can't ask because this relationship has not created an environment where it's easy to ask, that's also a sign that's probably not a healthy relationship, right? So so even being able to ask is telling. And then when I do ask, what is the outcome? I can ask and he can say, "Oh, yeah, 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 you're right. I'm so sorry. It's been a busy week and I definitely want to start doing things a little bit better here. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't text you. I haven't reached out enough. I want to start doing a better job with this." And to ask in a way of like, "Hey, it would mean a lot to me if I'm looking for some just signs that we're connected throughout the day. It would mean a lot to me if this could happen. It would mean a lot to me if you initiated a date because then it makes me feel prioritized and that would mean so much to me." The way that you ask is important, but how they respond is just as important. They can say all the right things, but then it's like, okay, what do they do moving forward? Now that I've asked, it's on the table, they decide how they want to handle that. Are they willing to flex and change and give, or are they unable? Sometimes we think, well, they're just not willing. He's not willing. So I must not be good enough for him. Maybe it's not that he's not willing, maybe that he's not able. And if that's the case, that's even more of a reason why you should run because it has less to do with you and more to do with what they are capable of. Maybe they're not capable of being emotionally available. They have too much baggage. It's too hard. And it's not about you not being good enough. Sometimes we stay because we convince ourselves, I am good enough. I can get him to like me. I can get him to give more. I can get him to love me better if he just realized how good I am, what a good catch I am, how amazing. I can get him to give me what I need. But then we make it about us when it's not really usually about us. It's about their ability to give or not give.
Very well said.
And then it's like, okay, if that's their inability, then I don't know if I want to stick around here for the next 10 years because it may never change. So, this is where we want to really start to assess those first 3 months. And not only that, if you are seeing a consistent pattern of attraction to emotionally unavailable men, oftentimes that comes from a deep seated place. For people who have a consistent pattern, oftentimes when you pull back the curtain on their past, you see a child who was around emotionally unavailable parents in one or the other, and they tried so hard to receive, to be loved, or they filled in the gaps for what they didn't receive and didn't get. And so many times you're just used to doing the extra work. And to you, like 80/20 ain't that bad. You know what I mean? It's just the norm. I'm just used to this. I maybe I wasn't able to get what I needed back then. And here's the pattern all over again. But this time, I'm going to prove that I'm good enough to get what I need from him
Mm.
rather than, wait a second, the problem is with him. It's not about me being good enough. It never was about me being good enough. I was just surrounded with people who were unable to give me what I needed, and I have to learn to find people who are able to give me what I need.
Amen.
Do you resonate with any of that from
Oh my
childhood?
gosh. Resonate with all of it. You hit the nail on the head. Definitely struggled in my relationship with my father growing up. And it's gotten better as an adult, but those seeds took root and bore fruit. And so it's something that I have to conscientiously work at.
And it even shifts our expectation. Like let's say you were in a parent child relationship where it was a whole lot of give on your part. rather than a whole lot of give on the parent's part. It shifts your expectation. Oh, I guess this is what relationships look like. I'm not I'm not supposed to get that much. I'm so used to getting the crumbs, I didn't even know there was such thing as a full meal. And so you carry that into how you do relationships as an adult. It's like my expectations are a little skewed because I didn't even see the model of give and take, give and take, give and take, that healthy growth in a relationship. And so sometimes there's some work to be done there because we don't want to be a magnet to men who are going to give us less than what we need, right? We want to shift our magnet. My expectations are. My expectations pave the way for my attraction.
Hmm.
So if I expect a lot and somebody's giving me a whole little, I'm not going to be as attracted to him. But if I expect a little and someone's giving me a little, I'm going to be wildly attracted to that. So your expectations pave the way for your attraction. And as your expectations become healthy, who you are attracted to gets healthier too.
I love that.
And so
I
that's
need
the
to look.
work underneath the surface. That's the work of counseling, that's the work of healing, uh,
Okay.
so that your magnet is drawing you to people who are going to give you what you need as you also give them what they need.
That's beautiful. I'm so looking forward to getting that one day.
Yes. Okay, tell me this. Have you read any of my books yet?
Yes. What was the first date? I
True
can't
Love
remember.
Dates?
Yes, that.
True
Oh
Love
my gosh,
Dates.
read that a
Very
couple
good.
of times. Yes, that is my go-to. And I want to say I have another one, but I'm so sorry. The title skips me. But the True Love Dates is
So here's
amazing.
what I would recommend. True Love Dates, and I would also recommend Love in Every Season, which
Okay.
talks you through the
The one.
4 stages of a healthy relationship and what you
Okay.
should be on the lookout for. In one section, we talk about the give and take and what you should see in the beginning. It kind of breaks a relationship into 12 months. What you should
Okay.
see in the first 3 months, what you should see in months 3 to 6, then 6 to 9, then 9 to 12 to kind of know that things are moving in the right direction and growing the way that they need to. So that one's called Love in Every Season. And I would probably start there next as you're trying to formulate what does a healthy relationship look like? And then consider, is there some stuff from my past that I need to work through with a counselor and maybe take a deeper level of healing in this season of life?
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I'm totally going to find that book right now and start reading. This has been a beautiful conversation, and I'm so excited and inspired to work on these expectations. So, thank you so much, Deborah.
I'm so grateful. It was so nice to talk to you, and I look forward to seeing how this plays out. So keep me posted.
Absolutely will
All
do.
right,
Thank you
take
so
care.
much.
Bye bye.